Today, we're going to absolutely unlock the essential English vocabulary you need to navigate, describe, and really just understand the physical world around you. We're going on a bit of a spatial journey, taking the vocabulary right out of our source material and bringing it to life.
So here's the map for our journey today. Number 1, home, away, and abroad. Number 2, here, there, and everywhere. 3, finding your exact position. 4, left versus right. And finally, number 5, those tricky prepositions, in, at, and on.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, Home, Away, and Abroad, where we're exploring your general location. We're starting at the absolute macro level here, zooming way out to figure out our most basic states of being.
So, the most fundamental distinction in English spatial vocabulary is whether you're at home or you're out. Obviously, if you're at home, you're in your house or your flat, right? It's your primary base. But if you're out, it means you aren't there, but just for a short amount of time. Like, let's say someone calls looking for Eleanor, you might just say, sorry, she's out. And that instantly tells the person that Eleanor is just, at the shops or maybe at work, and she'll be coming back relatively soon. It's just a temporary absence.
Now, let's contrast that super short-term state of being out with being away or abroad. If you tell a friend, hey, I'm going away tomorrow, you're signaling a much longer absence. Maybe you're going on holiday or staying with your sister for a few days. Basically, away means you definitely aren't just down at the corner store. And if we take it one massive step further, we have abroad. If you're abroad, you are in a completely different country. So it's really cool how this vocabulary scales beautifully from just a quick trip to the shops, being out, all the way up to a huge international adventure, being abroad.
Moving right along to Section 2, here, there, and everywhere, describing relative distances. Because once we know if we're home or away, we need to be able to describe where other things are in relation to us. And that brings us to the absolute classic pairing of here and there. Here always refers to where the speaker currently is. Like, if I say, come here, please, that means come to me, to exactly where I'm standing right now. There, on the other hand, means another place entirely. Our source material gives a fantastic example. Have you been to Lima? I'm going there in April. Lima is definitely not here. It's a completely different place, so it's there. It sounds super simple, I know, but perfectly anchoring your perspective like this, it's an absolute game changer for clear communication.
Okay, now let's add some movement and a bit of scale to all this. Think about the word back. When we say someone is coming back, we mean they're returning to this place, right here. For instance, Max is coming back from Portugal in May. He was away, and now he's returning to where the speaker is. But what if a location isn't just one specific point, but literally all points? Well, that's when we use everywhere, meaning in all parts or all places. If you say, there are books and papers everywhere in my room, you're painting a really vivid and, let's be honest, slightly chaotic picture of things just covering every single available surface. All right, on to Section 3, finding your exact position, where we're zooming in on specific physical objects. Let's see how this builds as we move way down from giant countries and cities into super precise physical spaces. So in English, we use these really specific pairings to describe the outer edges or extremities of objects. Visualize a mountain for a second. You've got the top of the mountain, and you've got the bottom of the mountain. And you can apply that exact same logic to a glass of water, the top and the bottom. Now picture a car. You have the front of the car where the headlights are, the side where the doors are, and the back where the trunk is. And for things that have a flow or a sequence to them, like a motorway or a good book, we use the beginning and the end. It's actually incredibly systematic when you group them together like this in your mind.
And that brilliantly illustrates what happens when you aren't at the top, the bottom, the front, the back, the beginning, or the end. You are in the middle of. It's the dead center, the central point. Think of being in the middle of the tree, or, as a matter of safety, the middle of the road. When you picture all those opposites we just talked about, the middle really becomes this anchor point that holds the whole shebang together.
Let's hit Section 4, left versus right, directing your view. We are now transitioning into what is basically an absolute survival skill in any language, distinguishing left from right. I mean, whether you're driving, giving directions, or just trying to find your own way, getting this right, pun totally intended, is absolutely essential.
Now, when giving directions, mapping this directly onto your own body just makes it super intuitive. Extend your left arm, boom, that's your left hand. Extend your right arm, that's your right hand. Imagine you're standing on York Street. You need to be able to instantly and seamlessly understand when someone says, oh, there's a cinema on the left and a restaurant on the right. Actually, let's practice this right now in the real world. Seriously, look at your own hands. What have you got in your left or right hand at this exact moment? Maybe your phone's in your right hand, or a pen is in your left hand. Take a second to mentally label it. Because connecting this vocabulary to your immediate physical reality, that is for sure the fastest way to make it stick permanently.
And that brings us to Section 5, tricky prepositions. In, at, and on, locking locations in place. We've officially reached the climax of our spatial journey. We have all these wonderful places: home, abroad, the top, the middle, the left, the right. But to actually use them in grammatically correct English, we need the glue that holds them together. We need prepositions. Specifically, in, at, and on.
So, the absolutely crucial point here is memorizing these distinct categories. We use in for enclosed spaces or things with clear borders. You're in the kitchen, which is a room, in the village, a bordered area, or in Seoul, South Korea, a city and a country. Then we use at to talk about specific points on a map or specific locations. Like you'll meet someone at the station, or you sit at the front of the class, or you just relax at home. It's a very targeted point. And finally, we use on for surfaces or lines. A photo goes on the wall. You sit on the chair. And as we literally just learned, the cinema is on the left or on the right. If you just remember to categorize them by borders, points, and surfaces, these tricky little words suddenly start to make perfect logical sense.
Wow, we have covered a lot of ground today, haven't we? From the macro level of traveling abroad, all the way down to the micro level of just sitting on a chair. I want to leave you with this somewhat provocative question, pulled straight from our source materials exercises, just to challenge your new vocabulary. Are you studying English at home or abroad? Think about where you are, where you want to go, and how you're going to use these words to describe your very own journey. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, keep exploring the space around you.